Shyamraj Ashok Muttappan. Walls have ears. Walls have ears. Shyamraj Ashok Muttappan.
Did you have a friend who would always comment about the teacher silently in your ears? And you will get caught reacting loudly? Ram was that criminal in my life. My geography teacher started the first question in the chapter. Denmark. Denmark is reported to have the happiest people in the world. He quickly murmured. But if the Denmark question comes as a 10-mark question, we will be the saddest people in the world. I controlled myself. She continued. Children, anybody can float in the Dead Sea. He quickly said a dead body can float in any sea. That's it. I laughed loudly and then acted as if I coughed loudly. Still the teacher got me. She grabbed me by my collar, dragged me to the back of the class, and faced me against the corner. I started crying to her, Ma'am, it was not my fault, only he. Shut up. You should not turn around till the end of my class, she said. That was the first time I met a wall so close in my life. But that day, when I cried against that wall, the wall did something my teacher did not. The wall listened to me without reacting. The wall listened to me without responding hastily. More importantly, the wall let me lean over it as I cried. My dear friends, that day I understood walls have ears. I stepped into college. Without getting any information about technology, I completed information technology. My class had 26 boys and 25 girls, which means the 25 boys had the 25 girls. I was the 26th boy. The single in my class. Love blossomed in all their lives, and I was the Sahara Desert in my class. So I searched for a long time and finally fell in love with public speaking. But even my wife was not ready to listen to my speeches more than thrice. Before I started the fourth time, I would ask, am I audible? No, you are horrible, she says. The only person who was never tired of listening to my speeches was the wall in my private room. That wall was the best audience for me to practice speaking. I have rehearsed my speeches 1,000 times and over in front of the wall, and every time that wall had ears for me. In 2001, the government of India announced women education is must. There was only one person in the whole nation who stood against that resolution. Hasina. Do you know who she was? She was my 15-year-old neighbor and she was very poor in studies. But she was a fun box in the entire colony. She would run from house to house and talk about cinema, sports, and food. Ask her one question about Albert Einstein. She would talk about all but Einstein. April 2005, the board exam results were announced. We knew that Hasina would score low. But sadly, Hasina failed in the exam. In India, you can fail in life, not in a board exam. Her father threw Hasina to the floor to beat her black and blue in front of everyone. The entire colony went silent that day. That evening, Hasina walked in slow steps into my house, sat for some time, didn't utter a word. No one in my house was bothered to talk to her. Dejected, she moved to the next house in the colony, sat. No one received her. So she finally walked back to her house. I knew that she wanted to talk something to us, but I didn't mind much. After an hour, I heard a loud bang outside. We rushed out to find Hasina's parents hammering at that door. People have gathered around to break that door open. What is running in your mind now was running in our minds then. I wondered if I could have done what the walls had always been doing for me. The walls listened to me without reacting. The walls listened to me without responding hastily. More importantly, the walls let me lean over them whenever I cried. I wondered if I could have been that wall for Hasina. Have you ever been a wall in someone else's life? The most unquestionable lesson of our lives, my dear friends, comes from the least inspiring wall. You and I can be the wall for him and her. You know, every time I pray, I don't feel God has solved my problems. I only feel someone, somewhere has listened to my problems. And if you are that someone, you are the God-sent wall for me. To the many in this world, my dear friends, where there is a wall, there is a way. Let's be the wall. Be the way. Contest wall.